Rapunzinequa, let your weave down the side of this Section 8 housing so that I may climb up and smoke crack.
All right, but don't mess it up.
What's up, guys? Spenny. The numbers are in and they're not pretty for Hollywood. Hollywood is dead. The moralizing and preening and virtue signaling and lecturing and sheer hubris has finally visited wholesale collapse on an industry who is so insufferable and so unwilling to change or do the simple thing that they are built to do, which is to entertain Americans and make movies that people want to watch. Their industry death has been brought about entirely by their own decisions to make movies that nobody wants to see, and therefore the Oscars ceremony nobody wants to watch. Oscar ceremony viewership down 10% year over year and 85% from just a decade ago. Americans are tuning out because Hollywood abandoned them and their entire reason for existence, which is to entertain the paying customer. You know, if you don't have any paying customers, then you're not going to be able to project any power culturally. If you have no viewers, if you have no subscribers, if you have no one buying a ticket in Hollywood or wanting to watch you, then you're going to lose. And the perfect example of this, like bundled into human form, is Rachel Zegler, who famously gave a preening lecture on her social media about how no matter what, even though she's flawed, no matter what, people are always going to line up to see her.
And my breaks, and there are many of them.
She's comparing herself, by the way, to priceless artwork here.
That at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
So she says that I am like the winged Victory in the Louvre. I'm that priceless and valuable to history and culture, and that no matter what I do, people will line up to see it. This is what she's saying here. And so, remarkably humbling that Rachel Zegler got into an empty theater, you can see here, and watched Snow White alone because there was nobody waiting in line. She also let out a Discovery Channel level howl here. What is that? Ow. Ugh. Okay, people are going to line up to hear that. No, they're not. Snow White bombed so badly at the box office that Disney has put their remakes on ice. Disney has stopped all of their live-action remakes because Rachel Zegler, in part, ended up blowing a staggering $170 million by using her platform to promote divisive politics and tell people that she doesn't want their money if they disagree with her. Something that Rachel Zegler actually said. It's like amazing. Like, you should be happy that you got what you want here.
Come on. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
I don't need your business, she says. Well, America did hit the unfollow button. The entire world hit the unfollow button. Disney lost $170 million on Snow White. The film made a staggering loss. It did not make up even remotely the production costs. Fans slammed Zegler after she called Prince Charming a stalker, attacked MAGA supporters, pushed activism, and of course, did not push a razor, as we horrifyingly found out. Oh my goodness. My heavens. Things got very hairy for Disney back there. And remarkably, it seems like they may have learned the hard way the error of their ways. I want to jump really quickly here before we talk about the live-action remake Rapunzel to a massive piece of news in the Disney world that Bob Iger, the man who brought wokeness to Disney, the man who destroyed the Disney brand, the man who allowed for the brain rot to take over and to infect every single production department, to tell narrow stories for people's like own therapy couches, and use the Disney brand in order to self-insert, which is what has been happening for at least a decade, and it happened under Bob Iger's watch. Disney was turned into a propaganda tool, and now Bob Iger is done. Bob Iger is out as Disney CEO. Josh D'Amaro, who is in charge of all of Disney parks, which is actually the only money-making venture at Disney left, will be the digital centerpiece for growth as Bob Iger delivers his farewell address. It has meant more than I can say. So Bob Iger officially out at Disney. He gone. Bob Iger has officially stepped down. His second run of Disney CEO, marking an end of a years-long succession drama at the company. The media giant's 2026 shareholders meeting on Wednesday held virtually. Iger passed the torch to incoming CEO Josh D'Amaro, formerly the company's head of products. More than being a toast to Iger, the confab, which is typically pro forma affair, served as a stage to shine a spotlight on D'Amaro, and remarks he remains committed to the same principles that Iger adhered to. Oh no. I guess we'll see. People are saying he'll be better. It looks like he's getting off to the right foot by casting actually white people to play white characters. I have used this allegory a lot, but I would personally be offended. I'd find it hilarious, but I'd be offended if, or at the very least, I'd understand the offense if you hired a bunch of Asian people to play Black Panther or whatever, like the Lion King. Well, if you took the Mulan story and you hired a bunch of Mexicans and Guatemalans to play Mulan, everyone would be like extremely confused about that. Wouldn't make any sense to anybody. Why would you tell a European fairy tale, one of the more famous European fairy tales ever written, set deep in the castles of Germany, and like make the princesses Lizzo? Well, that's not what exists there. So, right? It actually takes people out of it. It immediately signals to everyone, just like hiring a Colombian to play Snow White, it immediately signals to everyone that you're not taking this movie seriously. You're just projecting the message. See the live-action Tangled cast side by side with their animated characters. Look at this. It looks like Disney's finally done it. They actually hired white people to play white people. Incredible. Officially, a new Rapunzel Disney Universe studio announced on January 7th that Tegan Croft, no idea, and Melio Manheim will be starring in the upcoming live-action adaptation of Tangled. The Australian actress and Disney star will play the leads of Rapunzel and Flynn, respectively. Croft is best known for Raphael, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Cool. Don't really know. Don't care. Never heard of him until, like, this moment. Bombshell move, Disney has decided to keep white characters right. White, yeah. The meme may be dead. We'll see. Look at this. The entire cast is white cast because, well, it's set in Europe. Tegan Croft will play Rapunzel, a live action. Look at that. They actually kind of she kind of looks like a Disney princess. Look at that. Disney coming back to their senses. Perfect role for her. Yeah, that's right. Why didn't you hire the literal demon to play all of your blonde white princesses? Pixar's chief creative officer says studio cut LGBT content because we're not making a movie. We're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. Genius. Where the hell have you been, dude? Remember when they cast one of the Bailey sisters as a Disney princess? That's right. What happened to her? Real Disney. That's right. Yeah, that's the guy you go. Classic. Okay. Oh, man. 1 year ago, 124 million women were angry on X. Look at those numbers. Whoa. But you know what? The truth hurts, man. When cultures lose faith in God, they eventually lose faith in heroes. Stories change, imagination shrinks, and the kind of beauty that once inspired entire generations slowly disappears. Look at the difference, ladies and gentlemen. make sure that you preserve your culture, preserve what makes storytelling great. I'm rooting for better stories to be told. I think for Disney, it's like literally a life or death question, especially in the age of AI and the age of like unlimited creativity. When everybody has the power to create and tell their own stories, like, are you going to actually be better than them? Well, you're going to have to prove it by making stories that people like, that have broad appeal. And again, not narrow therapy, hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy for the most mentally addled people in society. That's how you destroy your business. So Disney's done for a long time. Let's see what happens next. It's your boy Benny. See ya.